Hi.
Are you keeping that on?
I am keeping this on because I watched this episode and I grew a zit because I was stressed. If I'm like, oh, you can like clearly see it on the camera, then I'll add a little
An emoji.
little junpyo. Yeah, right there.
Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love, in which we are recapping episode 4 of
5 of the 8th Sense.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
We recorded episode 4 last night.
Oh, that was episode 5 we watched?
Yes.
Welcome back to Boys Love, in which we are recapping episode 5 of the 8th Sense.
Great episode so far. In Boys Love fashion, I just ate. So I am filled with MSG because I had an entire clay pot of shinramyeon and I added little Spam. You were laughing at me when I put the Spam in the clay pot. What were you laughing at?
I was not laughing at you because of that. We were watching Chicago. And something happened on the show that made me smile, and I looked over and was smiling at you, and you looked over at the same moment that you thought I was laughing at you, and then you were like, what?
What?
But then I felt silly to be like, I was smiling at the theme of the show. So I was like, nothing. And then you were like, what?
I thought he was judging me. Oh, yeah, scratching my eye.
You don't have to include this, but someone left a comment that they already deleted on Fantasy Boys.
Oh, okay.
And they said, Adam, you have to stop interrupting RJ.
I am including that.
I will stop watching the show. And I couldn't even see it because by the time I saw it, because the notification popped up, and I saw the first couple lines or whatever.
So
and then I went to click on it, it was already gone. And I was like, oh, shit. So I do notice it.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for me because I get so excited.
But also, we try to interject and like we don't want to lose. So we want to be the one that like wins and is able to like continue the conversation. But you do it in the other podcasts too. I think it's in the same vein of like a thought comes into your mind and you just have to express it.
No, I also think it's like I'm so cognizant of, because I edit the podcast as well, so I try to never let there be like pauses. Because it was my big thing back in Showgaze was I was always trying to like cut out the pauses.
Yes.
So I'm going to be very cognizant to let RJ finish his thoughts, no matter how long it may take him. Because that's one thing.
I'm very long-winded because I'm searching for the words.
You're searching for the words and then you never find them, so then you just keep going. There's never a conclusion.
Yes. My ESL ass is just going to keep
okay.
You want to erase my
heritage
experience?
This ep, broad strokes,
is the beginning of the end.
This ep is trauma.
This ep, because we're in the midpoint, this is exactly episode 5 in a season.
There's 10 episodes.
In 10 episodes. It's like, let's start painting in the reality. This is when the honeymoon phase is starting to wear off. Even though they're not like together yet, they're still obviously like still doing this like flirty courting thing. But the reality of what the situation is between a relationship that could possibly happen between them is starting to set in. And I know the exact moment it happens.
I was more generally talking about we finally learned Jaewon's backstory.
Oh, girl.
And I don't even think we learned all of it.
No. I'm watching What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, and it is like the same.
You're still watching that? RJ, you started that in like Thanksgiving.
I know, because I'll watch one episode and then I'll be like, do the rest of my life and then come back like, oh, it's time to do another episode.
Are you more than halfway through?
Yeah, I'm more than halfway through.
Okay. Well, let's start at the beginning.
Let's start at the very beginning.
I was not gonna do it. I thought about it, and then
very good place to start.
When you read, you begin with ABC. Now we are really. I gotta say though, we meet the professor. Yes. He has some lines, but again, they are in and out.
He could not be bothered being there. He's like, okay, who's next? Who's going to do it next week? You? Okay, all right. Well, see ya.
Did you in college have presentations that were like one presentation a class?
No, it was like
multiple, right?
Yes, because it would be like it's the presentation. Like the next 2 classes will be we're gonna do people's presentations.
Did you like how I asked that question as if we didn't go to the same
I
college
know.
and had most of our classes
But we
together?
had some classes.
Did you, RJ, have classes?
We had classes that were not our core classes. I felt like we mixed that around so we didn't have to do the same ones. But we did the same classes, just not together, because you would be like, oh, I took weather and climatology. It's a sleigh. You should do it. And then like I did it. And
No,
then,
you took it before me.
Oh, really?
That was the last class I took because I had to take a summer class after because I was not going to graduate without it. I can't believe I got a degree.
Yeah. It was more the sociology classes. Like I would take them.
Well, we took sex and gender together.
Yes. What a great class.
That opened my world view, baby.
Sociology of sex and gender. If
And
you're
honestly,
in college right now.
sociology classes really.
Oh, yeah. Sociology
off.
of religion?
Sociology of religion
was-
with
Elfriede.
Elfriede.
Yes.
We did not take that one together.
No,
though.
but all 3 of us, you and Martin, had her.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, isn't she just so effervescent with her like long gray streak and her capelet?
Yes.
Telling us that like, religion, people just feel the need for community because back then we didn't have the answers. And I was like, Catholic, I was like, writing these down.
Where did because she made I cannot believe
we're not talking about college. If they don't want to talk about college, we're not talking.
They're in a film class.
Yes, but I will say it's like always one little bit of college every episode.
Oh yeah.
So I think there's something gonna happen.
Oh, I think they just like to remind you that that's where the setting is.
I don't know. I'm getting a sense that like, I mean, spoiler alert to the end of the episode, he whisks him away to go to the beach.
Hot.
Very
hot.
mad. Oh, so mad.
I don't buy into the thing of like men who get angry are hot. I think that's toxic. I think that's toxicity. But there's something about driving angry that is hot.
I hate
unless
it.
Unless it's like
That's so funny because when you drive angry, I can't stand it.
I know, but that's different. Like if you're angry at traffic, that's annoying.
Yeah.
If you're just like seething but driving, there's something like powerful in that.
I just feel like there's something going to happen. Like he's not going to show up for this presentation. And like Aries going to be like, what the fuck? That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, sure. I understand what you're saying.
The romance is starting to sweep him away.
Maybe. I feel like we have so few episodes left. I mean, it is 5 and they are long. They're like 30 to 40 minutes.
But you know what episodes are longer? Boys love, boys love.
Boys love. Our goal is to never be shorter than the episode.
Oh,
length.
never.
How dare.
Yeah.
The idea, the audacity. What would you do? You're in a film class. I can't believe I've never taken a film class in my life.
I know.
Did we even offer them? I think we offered.
We had film classes, but I took a sociology of mass media and pop culture.
Oh, no, I didn't even take that. Why are you licking Taehyung?
Because he's not the only one.
We are not getting into the Jenny Taehyung.
I didn't say anything.
Good for them. I'm so sad. It's fine. Let's celebrate that.
Yeah.
Of course. You have no idea how bad I want a brownie sundae right now.
Because there's
I know they're right there. Right off camera. They're right there. Also, idols' worlds are so crazy that how would you date a real person? You can't even date a real person. You have to date another idol.
Yeah.
Because the only people who understand
the schedules and everything.
Yeah.
Shanghao and Songhan Bin.
Don't do this. Don't sully this version of our podcast with that
trash. Anyway,
back to my original question because we're still on the first note on my paper. RJ, if you were in a film class and you had to do a presentation with a friend on a film, what one would you choose? So,
now or like back when we were in college?
Oh, back when we were in college.
I probably would have done like a Miss Congeniality / Legally Blonde / Charlie's Angels. Those are like my 3 trifecta movies that I watched over and over and over again.
Early 2000s women empowerment.
Yeah. Because Buffy and Charmed, we talked about it.
Buffy and Charmed.
I genuinely think Charlie's Angels was like, they shouldn't get along together, but they do, and they make an amazing team together. Ugh. And you still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Adam.
RJ, at this point, there's no way I would enjoy it.
No. We are going to eat that brownie, and I'm going to make you watch Charlie's
That's a
Angels.
euphemism.
I have a different answer now. If it was now, I would do The Farewell.
Oh, what a great
That
movie.
is one of the best films ever created.
I mean, in college, I hate to say it, it would probably be like Mary Poppins or Sound of Music. I mean, that idea is basically what the reason like I started Showgaze is because I just wanted to talk about movies that I love, and they just happen to all be movie musicals.
Yeah. If you are also a fan of movie musicals, make sure you click up here to watch the latest episode of Showgaze.
Listen to
the latest episode of Showgaze.
If I did it now, oh, that's hard. I'm so in the can for coming of age stories. Honestly, Call Me by Your Name. I remember liking Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I think the book is way better than the film.
I agree.
But I saw the film and I liked it. I probably wouldn't do that though. But that has like I have like a weird 9/11 thing.
Like just fascination.
Yeah.
Wanting to know.
I think because, I was in 4th grade watching it happen
happen
and watching people do what they did, and I think it's just like
Scarred.
seared into my brain. Cool. This is why, Gen Z, you can't make fun of us. We went through trauma.
Yeah. Please do make fun of us.
Please do.
Keeps us humble.
They head outside after class, and they run into Jaewon, Taeyoung, and Yoonwon, and they get invited. The seniors invite them out to have drinks and food with them that night, which is very nice of them.
Because Aerie is like, let's just skip class.
Oh yes, they're skipping class.
And Jihyun was like, okay, it's very sweet.
He's very easily
swayed.
Yes, that's a great word.
But because he's in a place where he's like, I want to try everything. So I think that helps too.
Jaewon and Jihyun don't say anything to each other, but we, the audience, can feel they lock eyes.
The heat.
So Jihyun and Airi on their journey of not going to class go to a thrift store, a vintage shop.
Yeah, and I love it. The way she was like, if you buy all of your coats online, there's a big chance that you might see someone wearing the same thing. So why don't you
But
just...
if you shop at a thrift store, it's one of a kind.
Yes, yeah. I love that.
I just did it again.
You completed my sentence. It's
the same. I would love to shout out this gorgeous little beret. We know I love a beret, and Airi finds one and puts it on. And then he finds a gorgeous outfit. It's called a hoodie with a jacket.
Yeah.
It's really sweeping the nation.
Layering.
Layers. We have a scene, and they're blowing up
balloons.
Party. It's what we call stage business.
Yes, just give him something to do.
So they're inside and they are talking about who's going to pay for this night out. And this is where RJ's clairvoyance was.
I was just getting a Chaebol vibe. And lo and behold, a little bit more solidified today in great exposition writing.
This is so
truly, because he was like, well, yeah, you'll have your mom's credit card to pay for it. And Jaewon's like, well, you have one too. And he's like, no, but mine's a debit. Yours is a platinum baby, black card.
It's giving Amex Black.
Yeah. Have you ever held an Amex Black
Yes,
before?
I have.
I have too.
It's hefty.
Insane.
They're metal.
They're so heavy. The seniors are like, well, just let them know. Text them. And he was like, yeah, they're not texting me back. They must be having fun. They're like, just call them. And he's like, well, I've never called Jihyun before. And Yoonwon and Taeyong are like, okay.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Because he's making such a big deal about it. And it's, to a normal person, not a big deal in any way.
I think it's Taeyong. He's like, why are you so, are you
Are
going
you guys
out?
together? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, I don't want to put him in a position of his sunbae calling him out of nowhere. I don't want him to whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we'll just do it. Just call him. And they're like, okay, well, I'll be right back. And they're like,
you have to leave the room to make this phone call? This scene is so funny.
It's so good.
The reactions are so good.
Because they're fully just so confused. And then when he makes this phone call, girls, you were there, okay? You were there when you first talked to someone on the phone of someone you like.
What I love about the framing of this show is that it's almost always you're looking at the person who's listening to the whatever.
Yes.
My obsession with this scene is that Jaewon is listening to Jihyun and smiling Meanwhile, you can hear Ji-hyun is smiling through the phone. Like, you can hear him, like, talking with a smile.
Yes, you can hear how, like, endeared and charmed he is. Because Jaewon is like, well, you didn't respond to my text, so I just want to make sure that you know where we're going tonight.
Trying to keep it cash.
Yeah. And he's like,
Putting on the mask.
Yeah, he's like, no, I saw. And Jaewon is so happy to be on the phone with him. It's so cute.
This scene is so good.
So they get to the restaurant. And
this scene is, I would say the rest of this episode is incredible expository understanding of character.
Yeah.
Right? Delivering it in a way that's very natural, in a way that people actually talk. And not, like, beating you over the head with exposition.
And in circumstances that could actually happen.
Correct. But also, like, if a show is not a mystery, they feel like they have to explain everything up front. Everything has to be explained in the first 2 episodes. So then you can have 8 more episodes to, like, resolve whatever.
Yeah.
This is so much more satisfying because you've been given hints along the way that there's something.
There's something going on. Yeah.
There's something going on with Jaewon. We don't know what the story is. We don't know why he's in therapy. Blah, 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 blah. And, like, this is the episode where we start to, like, peel back the layers and understand, like, who he is. Because really the first half of the show has been focused on, like, Ji-hyun.
Yeah.
We don't know, I guess, as much, but he doesn't seem like he has as much to share. Whereas, like, we've gotten hints that there's more that we are going to learn about Jaewon.
And while that's happening, really what we're learning about Jaewon is more about him as a person. Of, like, he has a tendency of putting masks on people. He has a tendency of just, like, telling people what they want to hear. Because the trauma is so real and deep. It's just such an interesting way to get into a character.
Yeah. So we learn that Jaewon's dad is
again through drunk Taeyang again.
Yes, we're always drunk.
Yeah.
With Taeyang, except for when he's TAing a class. Jaewon's dad is the head of a, like, multi-billion dollar won company.
Yeah. And
Ji-hyun, baby, secure the bag. Secure
But here's the
bag.
thing. Taeyang is saying, like, well, yeah, after college, he's probably going to have to work up for, like, a conglomerate for maybe 2-3 years to really prove that he's able to be a leader because because it's going to be that he's going to take over the company someday.
Right.
You can feel him realizing all of the things that are going to be harder for this relationship to be a real thing because of how from 2 different worlds they are.
This is very similar to the end of Roommates of Pungduk 304.
When he finds out that
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy because there it's, like, really played for comedy more.
Oh, 100%.
Because he's more of the chaebol of, like, he really hasn't proven himself. As opposed to this chaebol energy, which is more like he's never really wanted to in the first place. Maybe he did before the incident.
But also unintentional love stories of chaebol too.
Yes.
He's more of an artist, though.
Yeah.
Another aspect I like about the scene is they're cooking. It's a Korean barbecue, so they're cooking, or I guess as they would just call it, a barbecue. And they're cooking it. Jaewon is doing the, like, cooking. Ji-hyun takes over because he's like, I do this for a living.
Yeah.
Very hot for a man to cook for you. As someone who does not cook for myself, it's great. Highly recommend.
Yes, I reheated a beautiful slice of pizza for Adam today for dinner. So
gorgeous.
Keep your men fed, ladies.
Jaewon asks for another, like, pair of tongs to help, and Ji-hyun's like, Hyung, and then realizes that he called him Hyung in front of everybody, which I felt like I understand the significance of it, but I also felt like they made so much of a big deal about it that, like, everybody else would have been like, why are you making a big deal about it? You know what I mean?
Because it's perfectly plausible for them to already be
at that level. Taeyang is, like, interested in Bitna.
Bitna. So he was being hard on Jaewon because Jaewon, like, got mad at all of the things that Taeyang was saying.
Yes.
So he was like, what? You're not appreciative of what your situation is, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would love to be in your situation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Clearly, and Eric clearly seeing that it's uncomfortable for everyone. So she is like, Somebody, you like Bidna, right? That's just funny because she's never really talked about you.
She usually goes for handsome guys.
Not saying like you're ugly, but she's usually like like J1. Like she usually,
But like the face card, I mean, it's got to be there.
Yeah.
And baby, yours is the debit, and J1's is an Amex Black. I don't know what to tell you.
You said it.
You said it. And then Jihyun like joins in too, and it's like,
yeah, she never.
It's kind of crazy. It's literally what I said in the last episode, which was like, yeah, I feel like the fact that she doesn't talk about you at all is actually worse than if she spoke poorly about you, because then it would mean that she was thinking about you in general.
Yeah, and they took the words out of our mouths.
Taehyung is gooped and gagged. I mean, wig flew, snatched. I mean, I really don't even know if Taehyung really deserved this in this moment. It was a little harsh that I was like, good God. But also like, he's rolling up his little karma.
But it didn't really work because Jaewon has fully downward spiraled, started drinking brown liquor.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good when the liquor's brown. But he's a chip. It should be good. You got the money
for it. Yeah. Adam, at the sight or thought of taking a shot, will like preemptively gag.
I can't even like fully do.
He never does it completely. He'll like, and then there's always a little bit left, and I'm like, you are just making it worse by now multiplying the shot. Just drink the damn shot.
I just have a very petite mouth. It's very just small inside. My dentist told me I have a very small mouth.
Sense.
I have a very small mouth, RJ. I don't know what to tell you. So there's not a lot of room to just let liquid sit there.
It's not supposed to sit there. You're supposed to drink it like a shot. It's supposed to go all the way down.
That's not how my mouth works. I'm very unique.
Unique? The light is flickering from like color to color. It's like that LED switching color to color.
Yeah, the rotating.
Jian is fully like, Hyung, please stop. And he's not even like responding. He's just like drinking and drinking. He takes one drink too, though.
I thought it was going to be when he took it, thought he was going to like down the rest of the bottle so Jaewon wouldn't have the chance to. Yeah. But then I guess it's better that he is sober in order to get him home. So more sober.
So everyone decides to leave. Jihyun says that he'll take him home. And so they take a taxi together. Jaewon sleeps on his shoulder. He hobbles him over to the front of his house and gives him a hangover drink to be like, so you don't show up in front of your parents drunk.
This is one of the most exciting things I'm ready for when we go to Korea. I want to have one of these hangover drinks.
I need to try.
There's no way they're good.
There is no way they taste good. Like beetroot.
It's gonna turmeric.
Be like, yeah.
That's a spice.
I wonder if like they sell it at H Mart. I'm sure they do.
Oh, maybe. I didn't think about that.
Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll go.
But like, do they work?
Do they drink it? Do you drink it so you don't get hungover?
Or do you drink it once you're hungover?
Maybe there's multiple ones.
Maybe there's different kinds. So many people get hungover in the world that like, if there was actually a genuine hangover cure that's not just like get drunk again, which is truly the only hangover cure.
Yeah.
Then I feel like we would be mass producing, honey.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, maybe it doesn't work.
Because I don't know, girls. Liquid IV just isn't. I don't know.
She doesn't cut anymore.
She's not doing it for me anymore.
When do you drink it? The next day?
Yeah, when I'm hungover.
I do. So when was I drunk last? What did we do? What did we do where I was drunk? I just did it recently.
You drunk it when you were hungover in the morning.
No. I drank it the night before.
Before going to bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right before I went to bed.
That's the thing. I think you need to do like all that to say. He gives him this drink. He downs it. Well, Jian is like, okay, bye. He grabs him and like pulls him in for a hug. And what do they say?
Jihyun says, "Don't kiss me," and I think he implying like, "Don't kiss me again."
Don't kiss me again. Yeah.
And Jaewon says, "When did I kiss you?" The show should not be called The Eighth Sense. It should be called Plausible Deniability. I mean, that's the theme. The theme of the show is being able to say, "No, I didn't."
When he did that, and then
it was a bummer. It's a bummer.
You just like watch Jihyun's reaction because this whole experience, this whole night has been he is not the person that I thought he was. Because it's not like he's done anything bad to him or wrong to him.
Correct.
Because even like when he was taken home, he wasn't like violent or belligerent to
Nope.
him. He was very appreciative. He like whatever.
Yeah, I got nervous that there was going to be like...
He's gonna like push him or something.
Yeah, or just something dumb.
Something dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the same person in a sense of like he's still treating me the same way.
Yeah.
But from my perspective now, everything he has said has been a lie.
Right.
And even now, how he's acting is a lie.
You see in the moment, you see Ji Hyun's heart like break a little bit. It's so sad. I wish he wouldn't put that much stock into this one comment. You know what I mean?
But
Because
when
he's drunk.
I know,
But also like when you're in it, it's like
that's
those...
all you can think about.
Especially when you're not having explicit conversations.
Especially, yes, when you're not really actually talking. And especially if the other person's drunk, because that's when you know their true their true selves come out. Like when Adam's drunk and all of a sudden he's just like, actually tells people he appreciates them.
Shut up. RJ, I have a reputation to uphold of being a dick. So I need you to, allow me to still be that in front of the camera. Thank you so much. I said that into the mic so you would hear it. J1 wakes up the next morning.
And we knew it was coming.
And his dad is banging on the door.
Yeah. We are immediately taken to a flashback of J1
with a young boy.
With a young boy in a camera shop. And the young boy says, that one. I want you to get that one.
This is so sad. This is heartbreaking.
And then the little boy was like, just promise me you take really good pictures, blah, 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 blah. And then you hear a crash sound, like something breaking. And then the next scene is you see the shattered camera, present time, J1 bawling.
A genuinely heartrending performance.
Yes. And he's fully like, this was the camera that he picked for me. It's so crazy that they're not showing the parents at all.
I think it's smart.
I think it's very smart.
Mm-hmm. I like that they haven't shown the parent. We obviously don't know if they will. I feel like they might show the dad because he's kind of like an ever-present figure in a realistic show like this. As soon as you, and this is like a gay situation, as soon as you have parents in the mix, I feel like anybody watching it automatically goes to the like, will they be accepting? And that's so not what the show's trying to do, even though it is super realistic. And that is of the world in which we are like swimming around in. I'm glad we don't have to do the whole like, how will mom and dad take it or whatever.
The illusion, that fear gets less intimidating because you're putting a face to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to stay like far away and just like
the monster is not scary once you see the monster.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I like that they're very specifically keeping their relationship with older adults to the therapist and Sajangnim.
Mm-hmm.
Like very specifically, those are the two older characters that we are going to look for guidance.
Yes.
Because like even Ji Hyun wrote that postcard to his mom.
Yeah, and like we'll text her too.
Right. But again, it's like we're like separate. It's like, yeah.
The point is to try to, because they're trying to find themselves. And
right.
So
this is like what college. It's like
what college,
especially like your freshman year. It's just like
you want the separation. You want,
and if you left home, the little brother.
We find out in therapy
would be a freshman.
That's why he said that on the first ep. And they even explain it. So the next scene is in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
They even kind of explain it because she was like, I remember when you were brought here after the accident. Everyone thought that you were like not a high school student because you like looked old and like the way you spoke was very mature. You could tell that from an early age, he was already kind of like primed to be like someone to pass down whatever legacy his dad has. You know what I mean? So he's always had that like pedigree. But in therapy, like it all kind of comes out like you carry this guilt with you because because he passed away from an accident that like
had something to do with
him. I'm thinking like
obviously he didn't cause the accident,
yes.
But you know what it reminded me of? The BL that we had just watched a couple months ago with the two guys from the same
Omega X. Shoulder to Cry On. Yes, it's that.
That's what it reminded me of.
It's that where he caused. He
has been told that is what happened.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me.
Is that guilt that you take with you? I mean, like even like Guilt is so crazy. Especially like survivor's guilt is like
insane as it is.
It's like dealing with and processing grief and like everything. I feel like there's only really, obviously there's many ways to process grief, but like I feel like the big two ways you process like something like what happens to Jaewon is you either like go in and wreck yourself because you are so
you
like,
need to feel that like I should take some sort of punishment.
Right. Or you do what he's doing, and the line from the therapist that like made me tear up was you're living your life for him as well.
Yeah.
Where you like accept so much responsibility that then it is up to you to be the perfect person because how dare you survive and them not. And it's like so incredibly sad that he's like...
He feels that way about himself.
Yes, of course. It's so sad.
It's so sad.
It's so sad. This episode is not... I mean... I found this episode very valuable because you learn so much about Jaewon and why the understanding of why he keeps putting this mask on for everybody, because he is so concerned, true imposter syndrome, where he is so scared that someone is going to turn around and be like, you shouldn't be living this life because XYZ, and also like you killed your brother or whatever. Yeah. And of course that's not true. We don't even know whatever the accident is, there's literally no way, especially in a show like this, that he like genuinely caused this person to like die.
Oof.
I think it's interesting that he's seems to be falling for someone, and I think part of his not frustration, his questioning of like what Ji-hyun is to him is he himself is like, do I like him? Or do I just wish that he was like my brother? When he calls me Hyung, is it really just that I'm substituting him into my life?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, of course. That's running straight through this, which is why he keeps pulling him in and pushing him away.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, there's such a psychological fuck that you would go through that if you're like, I wish it was my brother, right?
Because I get to take care of someone.
Because I get to take care of somebody like I haven't been able to for 7 years.
Yes.
But then also like, if I have romantic feelings for him, what does that mean about me? A, what does that mean about me because I'm gay? B, what does that mean about, like, what is that?
Yeah.
There's like so many things that you start to like spiral into because everything is like connected.
Yeah.
Even though like stepping outside the picture, looking in, you're like, no, you just like him.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just charmed by him. And of course you like that you can take care of somebody because maybe you have a natural instinct to want to take care of someone.
But at that moment, you're fully making these connections and like, what does that mean about me? What does that say about me?
Yeah. A crisis of conscience.
Yeah.
And then we end with the therapy, and he asks for a month's worth of his prescription, which I'm assuming is an antidepressant.
Mm-hmm. And she says,
and she's like, she can do 3 weeks.
Mirrored with the same events of right after, like, seeing the camera get dismantled, calling him, crying in his car, calling Ji-hyun, asking, like, do you want to go away?
Can we go?
And then speeds up to his dorm, picks him up, and then speeds off.
And they're going to the beach.
And that's it.
The Station of the Cross we got this episode, I wrote this down because I think this one is actually very important, is the escorting of the drunk.
Oh, just like Bartholomew lifts the cross for him.
Is it Bartholomew?
I think it's Bartholomew.
Girl,
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. It's a really good show. I mean, it's not fun.
No, and people
there are fun parts of it, and I do think it's like obviously very well done. We've said that before, and like well written and well executed. I don't know if this would be like, I think episodes could be like comfort episodes.
Yeah, like rewatchable. But that's with every K-drama for me. Like I will rewatch the honeymoon phase of a rom more so.
This feels more like To My Star 2, not in it's as sad because that is so specifically sad. Depressing. But so well done.
Yeah.
But this is more like, I would recommend this to people just to be like, you have to watch, like non-BL people, just to be like, you have to see the show. It's genuinely really good.
Yeah. Just like a great showing of pacing. And honestly, I'm kind of happy that we didn't binge it.
Oh, yeah. I understand why. I mean, I want to every episode.
I know.
I want to keep going, but I'm being very good in stopping myself.
It's helping me kind of process every episode.
I mean, TV really is not supposed to be binged.
No. Let's go back to appointment TV, girl. There's too much to do.
Yeah. Or not even appointment, but just like
Pace
yourself. Because it's more, sometimes it can be more rewarding. Sometimes I think it's fun to binge. What made WandaVision this way out of left field? Made WandaVision was so fun was that it was...
You had to wait a whole week for the next episode. Yeah.
It was so fun.
So good. Boys love WandaVision.
Boys love WandaVision.
Girl.
Boys love Agatha.
And that's boys love The Eighth Sense. And still, boys
continue
to love Eighth Sense. I forgot to say this in the previous recordings, but Chloe, my friend from work, she loved that we did our MVPs every episode, and then we stopped doing it. So she was like, she asks me every week, like, who was your MVP? You didn't do it, but who was your MVP in episode 2?
We forgot, girl.
Yeah.
Who's your MVP this episode?
The therapist.
The therapist, 100%. I'm not even kidding.
I'm not even kidding, because I know we talked about last week where it's like she's kind of run ragged by it.
Yeah.
And she even was like, is your dad still aggressive?
Yes. We didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about that, but I mean, actions speak louder than words.
I think that her asking that is why I think he's going to end up being a character.
Oh, no.
That's my guess. Is because it's such a specific
thing that he's working on.
Yes. That I feel like we'll see a resolution, but maybe we won't, because the show is doing a stylized realism. And you don't necessarily resolve everything in your life at the end of whatever.
I mean, you said it in last episode. At the end of the day, you can't control how other people act.
Here's what I hope doesn't happen in the show. I hope something doesn't happen to Ji-hyun where then it makes Jae-won relive the trauma.
Yeah. Oh, like he gets in an accident or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would much rather keep it like choices and consequences.
Right.
Actions and consequences.
Right.
Rather than like another traumatic event happens.
Yeah.
Because like lightning strikes twice for someone.
Right.
The
mantra in acting and theater and whatever is always like raise the stakes. So like writers will write in like, and then a thing happens. But I think their stakes are already so high. So now how do they process the stakes and work through them?
Yeah.
Which I think is just as interesting.
And that's why I think it's gonna be more about like actions and consequences. Like I think Jae-won is gonna make bad decisions that Ji-yeon has to accept.
Yeah.
And then have to work through that if they're gonna live by those. Who was your MVP? Same.
The therapist, yeah. Or Aerie, because that thrift shop scene and the comedy of the like
the reading challenge.
The like taking of the photo.
Oh yeah.
Taking of the photo. Taking the photos and like camera eats first. That scene is so funny. It's very good. She's very cute. Sometimes it's like there's the one friend, and then that's kind of it. I feel like it's very purposeful that they've had like 5 like female characters that are
important,
very important to the plot. Yeah. GMMTV needs to take just a few notes.
And that's all we'll say.